Good morning, everybody. It's Graham once again from Unearthed and another episode of Detecting Talk. Now we're in May already, still in the smack bang in the middle of the lockdown, or maybe coming out at the other end. Fingers crossed. But this episode of Detecting Talk will hopefully inspire some of you wonderful people that watch this channel into enjoying the hobby of detecting even more once the lockdown finishes and we can all get out and about to get on the fields and do a bit of detecting. The problem we've got is when the lockdown's finally over and we've got the chance to go out detecting, the crops are going to be well up, which is obviously a downside. The grass is starting to grow on the pasture, and I've noticed the farmers up here in Cumbria have started to let the cows out, which can cause a problem with detectorists that are not very cow friendly, or the other way around. So although the lockdown may happen very soon or in the next week or two and we can all get on with our business of enjoying the hobby of detecting, we may not get the chance to get on the land that we wanted to maybe last month or the month before. But you know, we live in strange times. I think 2020 as it stands is going to remain in our memories for probably the rest of our lives. We'll always look back at 2020 and you know, it's been a pretty hard, harsh year for a lot of people. Coronavirus and other things as well. So let's hope we can come out of the other end unscathed. Now then, let's have a little talk about detecting in general. Now I don't often do this enough, but this film hopefully will go some way into bridging that gap. But how many of you people out there can remember back to your school days? Now, you know, I was in the 1980s. I left school in 1986, and my history at school was pretty diabolical. Now I have still got some of my old school reports from the teachers still knocking around somewhere. I'm sure my dad's got some at home as well, and I had it wasn't that long ago that I had a chance to look into one, and we used to get, it was like a checkbook, a red checkbook with different teachers writing different things. So there was geography, maths, English, and then you come across history, PE, etc. Now my schooling days weren't the best when I was there. I have to say I didn't attend school as much as I should, and because the education system at the time for our particular school was an absolute letdown. There were some days the teachers didn't even turn in, so we were left to our own devices. So make of that what you will. However, history wasn't my strongest subject. In fact, I got an E7 from Mrs. Barraclough from Walney School, you know, and the comments was, why he attends these lessons is beyond me. So you can gather from that history wasn't my strong subject, like a lot of them weren't. But isn't it strange how I can go from an E7 at school? Now, if I was to sit exams in history now, I'm damn sure I would have probably got a GCSE or a CSE as it was then, grade 1, probably, because my interest in history, all things historic, certainly ancient historic up to sort of Tudor periods and beyond, has pretty much come from the back of metal detecting. So it's funny how many people, and I know this will strike a chord with a lot of you people that watch this channel, that your schooling reports and your history lessons at school were boring, and you probably weren't very good at them. But detecting comes along and takes a grip of you, like it does with a lot of people. It becomes an obsession, like it did with me for many years and still is. It's funny how your history improves dramatically, in so much as, you know, I look at my extensive library now of books, historical reference books, Iron Age, Roman, Saxon, Celtic, you know, you name it, right up to the medieval period and beyond. Dozens and dozens and dozens, if not more, scores of books, all of particular subjects, probably over 200 or 300 books now in my collection, and it's classed as a proper history book collection. Now, if somebody was to tell me that in 1985, 1986, you're going to be a bit of a historical buff, you know, you're going to like your history and everything else, I would have just shook my head and said, you know what, you're talking absolute nonsense. So another part of the success of detecting is you also become very interested in history. And I've spent many hours of an evening, rather than watching the trash on television, with my head buried into a book, reading about particular periods, reading about particular counties. And I always remember one, I've still got it up in the loft somewhere, I'm going to have to dig it out. It was a historical reference book of different counties in the UK. So for example, it had Norfolk, Suffolk, and the rest of the counties, including Cumbria, Lancashire and beyond. And it gave historical references into sizes of population, the crafts, the mills, the production that went on in certain counties, the population increases and decreases, and it was absolutely captivating. And of course, I would read it one night, maybe sat propped up in bed, nodding off, trying to keep your eyes open, because reading obviously is good for you, but it also sends me to sleep after maybe, 25, 30 pages. I'm probably nodding off, which can't be a bad thing. Nice natural way of nodding off, reading a book. But you're reading these books, and then you're getting out the very next day or a couple of days later, where you detect are absolutely armed with enthusiasm, because you've got all this history stuff running around in your brain, and only for it to be enhanced by the experience of being a detectorist. And that's what I love about detecting. It's the history side, the people that do the research and they buy the books and they love the knowledge of everything that went on, because of course the UK in particular, it's got that much history crammed into it. We only probably know a very small percentage of what was documented. The rest of it is probably been lost in time, over time. And the amount of stories that probably exist or did exist out there, we would be absolutely captivated with. Sadly, probably lost forever, because there was no records kept for certain periods or certain events or whatever. But even down to everyday life of the medieval person, I absolutely love reading about how they worked, how they took the rest, what they ate, how they slept, what did the houses look like, what sort of animals did they keep. And of course, we go out, and find the coins that these individuals lost out in the fields while, tending to the flocks, ploughing the fields, seeding the fields, hunting, fishing, collecting firewood, you name it, it went on. So how many of you people out there were captivated by history purely from the back of metal detecting? I bet I get a lot of comments on this thread and this film of you guys saying, yeah, I love it, I absolutely hated it at school. It's so many people I speak to have the same story to tell, I should say. So another shot in the arm for the detecting hobby. It's amazing how people are switched on as soon as they pick up that detector. And of course, it's a journey, because you only have to find one or two relatively interesting objects, coins or artifacts for you then to be sort of scrambling around as best you can to find out as much information on that particular object or coin as you possibly can. Your head's buried in a book, or you're on Google looking for references to the particular coin that you found, whether it be an Elizabeth sixpence or a Henry VIII groat or whatever it could be. It's absolutely amazing how it captivates you that way. And I do hope that there's still the same amount of detectorists coming through, these new guys that are coming through, that have the same feelings and the same thoughts and the same journey as people like myself did. Because I find now in the detecting world, there's a split right down the middle. You've got this side of it that have the old school detectorists in so much as a lot of detectorists have been doing it for such a long time, like myself, are still captivated by the hobby and the historical information behind the stuff that they find. They're not interested in the monetary side of things. Anything that you find that's worth money, okay, it's a bonus, but we don't detect for that reason. We detect for saving these coins and artifacts from destruction, bringing them back to life once more, and having the chance to admire what these coins and artifacts actually look like in the day. So let's get that straight. But I'm finding there's another side of the hobby where there's these new breed of detectorists coming through that they're absolutely scrambling around everywhere for as much land as they possibly can get their hands on, but they're not that interested in the finds that they make. They'd rather stick it on eBay and make a few quid off the back of it, which I think is completely wrong. I really do. I don't know if they do the research or anything, but I do see a growing number of these types. And I just hope that they sit back one day and say, right, I am actually interested in the history side of things here. I want to do a bit of research on that particular coin. I'm not interested in selling it, but life is a funny journey, and there's a lot of people out there that are all different to each other. And this isn't a slant at the new guys coming through, because there's a lot of good new guys coming through. So I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I'm saying, but there is a split in detecting. There's the good side where people, like I mentioned, about the historical side of things are not interested in the monetary value, and then there's that side of the hobby that they're only interested in the coin, not the ancient coins, the modern coin. And I do not like that side of the hobby. Do not like it. And it's the same with these people. A lot of people that probably night hawk, they're only night hawking because of the money. It's wrong, in my opinion, wrong. Right, so how many people are watching this are captivated by the historical side of the hobby? I bet there's thousands. So let's hear from you guys. So the enthusiasm is raging inside me. I cannot wait to get out detecting again. I cannot wait to. Do you know what? Even picking up, it's been that long. Even picking up a grotty, copper Georgian penny would be fantastic at the moment, or a button or something. I don't care what it is. Don't care. I just want to get out detecting. So hurry up. Coronavirus, disappear. Come on, get on with it. I'm sick and tired of listening to the absolute nonsense that some of these news channels are spouting out. 1 minute they're saying it's in a factory in Wuhan, the next minute they're saying it's off a bat, and what's it going to be next week? Off the back end of a cow? I just want it over and done with, as horrific as it is. I just want to get rid of the whole thing so we can get back to some normality. Right, there's gonna changing the subject from the historical side of things. I've been toying with the idea in here, in my small pea-like brain, for a number of months now, about because we do our organised digs. They've changed so significantly now, where it's only friends and family and people that I pick. But I'm going to start doing something a little bit different when the lockdowns commenced and maybe the land's available again. Maybe once or twice a year I'm going to do a particular dig, an organised dig, which is going to be free. It's off the back of it, I'll make sure the farmers compensated for it. But this is going to be for people that plug and support Unearthed directly. So it's going to be for the people that buy off us regular customers, the people that I see plugging Unearthed on social media, followers of Unearthed, basically, followers and friends of us. And I'm going to hold a couple of digs per year just to say thanks, a free dig on farmers' land for 1 day, on some good land as well, just to say thanks for the work that you guys put in, mentioning Unearthed on social media about people wanting detectors and accessories and etc, etc. Basically, people swimming in our direction. Now, there's going to be a number. I'm going to be handpicking these people because there's some that do really stand out, that do a fantastic job for us, if you will, in promoting Unearthed on places like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and other places like that. So it's my way of saying thanks. So at some point in the future, you're going to be getting a tap on the shoulder and a message or a contact or whatever it is, face to face. I'll be inviting you personally to a dig. Now, it might only be 25 people, it might be 20 people, it might be 30 people. I don't know yet until we find out. The list of people that I've got is quite long. But it's just my way of saying thanks to you guys for helping us out over this critical period of the coronavirus. So that's what I'm going to do. There'll be no money, you don't have to pay, it'll be a free dig. I'll make sure the landowners compensated out of my pocket, and hopefully we'll have a good day. So that's going to be coming up soon. So I'm going to be handpicking people that do a really good job for us and our supporters and friends. There's one or two out there that don't. There's one or two out there that don't promote. They still come on our digs, but they don't promote Unearthed as much as they should, in so much as, if someone's asking for a detector, they'll name another shop or another outlet and they'll forget about poor old Unearthed until they're, finding hammered coins on our digs and things. So it's not been keeping them out the road. It's just making sure I'm looking after the good people and the friends of Unearthed. So watch this space for that one. Now, I do have to give a hello out to Andrew from Faversham and his lovely lady who watch this channel often, and I hope he's enjoying his new detector and his accessories that he's been purchasing recently. And I hope when this lockdown's gone, I hope he can get out on the beaches and the fields and find some really wonderful things. He might even find his old air rifle pellets from the days of his air rifle shooting. So he'll be having a laugh watching this, me mentioning that to him. Anyway, but hello, Andrew. I can't remember your wife's name. I do apologise. So next time I speak to you, you'll probably be giving me a roasting about it. So I do apologise up front about that. But stay safe, everybody. And of course, keep an eye out for the next episode of Detecting Talk. We may be doing a history on foot session soon, and we've still got in the pipeline to do some of the product reviews and detector reviews on the test bed. Now the sheep are finally disappearing one by one off there onto the main pasture. They've chopped it down nicely so we can get the detectors on there and start doing some work. So watch this space. So for now, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Bye for now.